Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about the BBC. We're going to talk about a report and what it means. We're going to talk about social media. And we're going to kind of run through that report and talk about the real impacts of it and where the information really came from and whether or not it's something that you should really even pay attention to. So, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, there is a report floating around on social media. It's a BBC report, and it cites Bellingcat. Now, if you're not familiar with Bellingcat, it's an investigative journalism outfit. There's undoubtedly going to be a lot of commentary about Bellingcat in the comments, and that's fine. Y'all can have that conversation. But even if you don't like them, you have to acknowledge that their reports carry a lot of clout. They mean a lot to a lot of people, even if you disagree with them. They have a heavy focus on conflict and intelligence work. Okay, so what does the report say? It says that Bellingcat concluded that arms from Ukraine, provided by the West, made their way and were used in that recent event in Israel. Okay, so that's big news. That is big news. I would like to read a statement from Bellingcat. We've reached no such conclusions or made any such claims. We'd like to stress that this is a fabrication and should be treated accordingly. So that's important. The organization that is cited said that they didn't do that. I mean, I don't know how BBC could be that wrong. Well, it's simple. That's not a BBC video. It's not real. The whole thing's manufactured. It looks real. It looks good. It's an information operation. Basically, it is putting out a fear that Western assistance to Ukraine could end up being used in some other way. It is a Russian talking point. I know somebody's going to say it's a Republican talking point. Look, at this point, they're pretty much indistinguishable. It's an information operation designed to provoke the exact reaction it was having until those who are credited with it were just like, yeah, no, none of this is right. I've got a shirt that says, "Don't listen to my father. He gets his news from Facebook." I need one for Twitter now as well. If you don't read the news, you're uninformed. If you get your news from Twitter, you're probably misinformed. The American people in the West in general, you got to get ready for this. You have to get ready for this. You can't fall for this every time. The tactics that are being deployed in the information space as far as information operations, they are getting more and more sophisticated. In this case, they're using two sources that have a lot of recognition, a lot of clout. And it was hours and hours of circulating before there was clarity. And to be clear, the clarity has not caught up to the spread of the bad information yet. We're going to have a major issue with this, not just when it comes to conflict, but when it comes to our own elections and our own policy making. So this is something that you kind of have to train yourself for. If you get a report that you can't find anywhere else, and it totally confirms a talking point of a political side, assume it's not true at first. Wait until you get more confirmation. There's never a story that totally confirms somebody's talking point. That doesn't really happen. Especially if you can only find it on social media and you cannot find that report on the site of the organization credited with the report on social media. We have to train ourselves for this. This is something that can cause a lot of harm to not just to national security and stuff like that, but to people, innocent people, as people believe made up stories and it shifts policy. It's going to have negative impacts. We have to get ready for this. In a totally unrelated story, it does appear that the European Commission has basically told Twitter that they need to get their act together when it comes to content moderation. It looks like a letter went out about that. So we'll see what happens, but at this point, when I'm going through my messages and I'm looking at the footage and requests for, an explanation of a story, and they're false, it's almost all coming from Twitter at this point, which is a change. It used to all be from Facebook. So it's something we need to get ready for. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.